Hello everyone, welcome back to Excel Learning. My name is Abhishek Saw and this is your English classroom where you are getting your English chapters detailed explanation. And very soon we are going to post grammar videos also. So please be with us, keep watching and keep learning. Today I have brought a poem written by Rabindranath Tagore and the name of the poem is The Last Bargain. It is a soulful poem that describes the worthlessness of worldly things like power, beauty and money. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the chapter. Before starting, please take the book right in front of you and take a pencil so that you can note down each and every point that I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you in this particular video. So starting guys, okay? Enjoy the poem. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, N-O-U-G-S-T, naught means nothing. And he went away in his chariot. So see, no rhyming words are there. There is no rhyme in this particular poem. And it is called blank verse. I repeat, it is called blank verse. That means the verse without rhyme. So from the very beginning we are saying that the speaker is in search of work and he is crying that please hire me. Someone please hire me. At that time a king came and the king was holding a sword and the king told the speaker that I will hire you with my power. But the speaker found the power completely worthless. This is the reason the speaker refuses his offer. That means the king's offer. Now in this particular stanza, morning symbolizes hope and courage. So the speaker in the first stanza, the speaker is very much hopeful, right? And I was walking on the stone paved road. Stone paved road symbolizes the difficult path, the difficult road or difficulties. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot, and sword symbolizes power. Definitely a king must be powerful. So here in this particular stanza, sword symbolizes power of that particular king. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. So the king wanted to hire the speaker with his power, but his power counted for naught. But the speaker found his power completely powerless, completely worthless. So, and he refused the offer, and so the king went away once again in his chariot. Now coming to the second stanza. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. Shut doors, please underline. I wandered along the crooked lanes. Crooked lanes means some twisted and uneven road. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. So see, the first stanza is telling us about the daytime, about the morning time. Now the second stanza is telling us about the daytime, when all the doors of the houses were shut down and the speaker was walking in the crooked lanes. Suddenly he was surprised to see that an old man approached to the speaker with a bag full of gold, and the old man offered the speaker to be hired, and the old man would give him gold coins, that means money, and he said so and he started counting his money. But similarly, as we have got in the first stanza, similarly the poet found the speaker found the money worthless, and so he refused his offer also. So in this particular stanza, like shut doors and crooked lanes, all these words symbolize, the trouble and the loneliness. See, all the doors were shut down. That means the road was completely empty and it was twisted road, uneven road. So shut doors here symbolize what? Emptiness. loneliness. And at that time only an old man came, and he was holding a bag full of gold coin, and the old man offered the speaker to be hired, and I mean instead he would give him power, he would give him gold coin, right? But similarly the poet or the speaker found the money worthless and he refused. Now third stanza, it was evening. So see, first stanza was morning, second stanza midday, and now third stanza is telling us about the evening. It was evening, the garden hedge was all of flowers. So a garden has been described here which is very beautiful and full of beautiful flowers. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. Now it is evening time, and the garden is very beautiful, full of flowers. At that time, from the dark, a maid, a beautiful girl came out. She was smiling. Okay, she had a beautiful smile, and she offered the speaker that I will hire you with my smile. That means the beautiful girl wanted to hire the poet or the speaker with his smile, with his beauty. Similarly, as we have got in the first and second stanza, in third stanza also the speaker found the beauty worthless, because the beauty is not everlasting, right? It will fade away with the growing age. So similarly, the poet refused to go with that particular beautiful lady. The sun glistened on the sand. So this particular stanza, the last stanza of this particular poem is telling us about the next day. See, first stanza morning, second stanza midday, third stanza evening. Now once again we have come to the morning. That means this particular stanza, the last stanza, is telling us about the next day. The sun glistened on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From thenceforward, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. A free man, please circle, very important. So the last stanza is telling us about the next day. At that time, okay, the sun was shining brightly and the sea waves were like breaking the boundaries. It was looking extremely beautiful. And at that time the poet found a small boy, a small kid playing over there, okay, at the seashore, and the boy was sitting playing over there, and the speaker was standing. So the playing boy just looked like this, looked at the speaker as if he knows the speaker since long, and he told him that I will hire you with nothing. That means I cannot give you anything and I will hire you. From thenceforward, the bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. And very lovingly, with happy mentality, with contentment, the poet or the speaker accepted the offer of the child, because he is not going to lose his freedom if he accepts the offer of that particular child. In the very first stanza, if the speaker would accept the offer of that particular king, that means he's going to lose his freedom, right? Because the king is giving him power and then he is hiring the speaker. Similarly, in the second stanza, the old man is giving him money and hiring the speaker. In the third stanza, the beautiful lady, the beautiful maid is giving beauty and hiring the speaker. But in the last stanza, the small kid is not giving anything and hiring him. That means here there is no chance to lose the freedom. This is the reason the speaker found the offer of the child, it's worthy, and accepts the offer. So now this is the entire explanation of this particular poem. Now few things I would like to tell you, like in the first stanza, morning symbolizes new courage and hope. The speaker is very hopeful. Okay, stone paved road. In the first stanza, stone paved road is symbolizing difficulties or troubles. Sword symbolizes power. In the second stanza, shut doors, crooked lanes, all these words are symbolizing, loneliness or uneven. Crooked lanes, similarly, in the first stanza, what we have got in the first stanza, like twisted road or uneven road. Bag full of gold symbolizes money, right? And in the third stanza, with a smile is symbolizing beauty. This is also a worldly thing, symbolizes beauty. Now the theme of this particular poem. See, first of all, if we come into the theme, okay, then first is worldly pleasures are fake. Worldly pleasures are fake. Like worldly pleasures means money, beauty and power. See, the speaker did not accept the offer of the king because the power is not everlasting. A king who is very powerful, he is always feared of losing his power, right? Now in the second stanza, he too did not accept the offer of the old man because the old man is very rich and a rich man is always feared of losing his wealth or money. Now in the third stanza, the poet did not accept the offer of that beautiful maid because she is very beautiful and a beautiful girl is always feared of losing her beauty. That means power, money, beauty, nothing is permanent in our life, right? Nothing is permanent in our life. But in the fourth stanza, the small kid, the small child is offering nothing. So as he has nothing, so he is not feared of losing anything. And as he is not paying anything, he is not offering anything to the speaker. So here the speaker is completely free. He has the liberty, he has the freedom. So the first theme is worldly things or worldly pleasures are fake. Second is liberty. See, we all want freedom. हम सब जो है, हम लोग को फ्रीडम चाहिए, हम लोग बंधा हुआ नहीं रह सकते, राइट? सो वी ऑल वांट फ्रीडम. And here in this particular poem, we have got that the speaker finds that giving up worldly desires and quest for materialistic things is what that gives joy and peace to a soul. मान लो कि मेरे पास बहुत पैसा है, मेरे पास गाड़ी है, 3-4 गाड़ी है मेरे पास 2-3 बंगला है, लेकिन it does not mean that all my money and riches are giving peace to my soul. So खुश रहना जो है वो अंदर से आता है, या फिर हम लोग तभी खुश रह सकते हैं जब हम लोग फ्री रहेंगे, right? So the materialistic things are not giving peace to our innocent soul. If we want, freedom, rather freedom gives happiness, freedom gives contentment to our soul. So similarly, the speaker did not accept the offers of the king, old man and the lady, because if he would accept their offers, that means he would have lost his freedom, जो कि उन्हें पसंद नहीं है. And as he is accepting the offer of that small kid because he would not have to lose his freedom there. So this is the complete explanation. I hope you have understood the poem. Then also read the poem very carefully, each and every line, each and every word. If you have any problem, any doubt, please write to me. Feel free to write to me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Extremely sorry, before going I forgot one point to discuss. That is justification of title. See, at first the speaker was offered by the king. He refused, right? Second stanza, the speaker was offered by an old man. He refused. In the third stanza, the speaker was offered by a beautiful lady. He refused. But in the fourth stanza, when the speaker was offered by a little kid, by a small boy, he accepted the offer. So in case of first stanza, second stanza and third stanza, it was like a bargaining was going on. They were offering something and the poet was refusing, right? But in the last stanza, in the fourth stanza, the poet did not bargain anything, rather he accepted the offer given by the little kid. पहली बार में उन्होंने जो है एक्सेप्ट कर ली. सो हियर इन द लास्ट स्टैंजा वी आर सीइंग दैट दिस इज द लास्ट बार्गेन ऑफ द स्पीकर. दिस इज द रीजन. From this aspect we can say that title is completely justified. So here we are ending our video. Complete explanation, justification of title, blank words, themes, everything I have told you. I hope you have understood. So please feel free to write to me if any problem is there, and don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for being updated, and please share with your friends so that they would get the best one. मिलते हैं next video में. Love you all. Thanks for watching.